Yeah, here's some home movies here. But that's not what we want to show you. We'll show you a little bit of what we're up to on flight gear instrumentation for the aircraft. It's got a long way to go, but yeah, we're getting there. All right. So we got a little synthetic vision. If we actually put a GPS signal in, this would be recording what the GPS signal says is happening. Only doing all the heavy lifting for all the fancy graphics. And we got this fancy user interface that they put in FlightGear that we can do. But we're going to talk about it. There's a real nasty little technical problem. And that is it does these beautiful maps on where you are. But the problem is these are online maps, so it gets the tiles off the internet. And flying the aircraft, that's a bit of a problem. So that's one of the issues that we're working on, is to do a workaround to be able to display the map without, I'll resize that. Okay. I got the sound on, I think. Yep, got the sound on.
Airspeed low, airspeed low, airspeed low, airspeed low, caution, airspeed low.
So you do all kinds of annoying things with software. I'll bring the airspeed up. And I'm going to use the autopilot. Do the heading control. And if I move that bug, if you look on the compass, if I move that bug, it'll keep chasing that bug. All right. So let's see, what do we got in the neighborhood of Flagstaff? There's the San Francisco peaks. And that's Mount Eldon. By the way, that's Interstate 40. It also shows on the database both Interstate 40 and the railroad line. And some of the minor roads. Now what we've got here is a section, a rendition of what's called an aeronautical sectional chart. And so these charts give pilots information they need to know to stay out of trouble. One of which is this little circle here, which is over by the Navajo National Guard base, where they detonate old explosives. And so there's a restricted airspace here. They want you to stay out of that cylinder. Mainly so that you don't pick up shrapnel. And so one of the things that would be useful in being able to fly the aircraft and having this sectional be able to display in the cockpit in real time with the track is so that you can get this spatial orientation as to where you are from a navigation standpoint. And here we get a representation of what the view out the window is and indications about how high we are relative to the ground. And then, whoa, what's this guy? Well, that's him. Okay. Now, this is what I put together for what I call Open Eagle, is these databases where I actually put the boundaries of this restricted airspace in here. So I'm overflying it technically, but it would still be legal here because I'm above the upper boundary, and you can see that here. I have some keys that'll move the display around. Okay, so the idea is to probably within only about a 10-inch display be able to put either the moving map or the synthetic vision display or some combination of both, so you have it as a reference material when you're flying the aircraft. Okay. Now this display is set up to where right now, if we had a GPS signal coming from a live aircraft actually doing this flight track, this is what it would show. It would actually show this. And this is running on an AMD 64-bit box that I have with a fairly, I wouldn't say a high-end NVIDIA video board, but a decent NVIDIA video board in it. So you can do a lot of graphics here that the big boys and the Boeing crowds have. And the problem here is I need an internet connection to get this piece of it, because it goes out and grabs what are called tiles off the internet to plug in the view, because these mapping programs and their database are huge. Well, I have access to the FAA sectional charts, and I can actually and have created some bits and pieces of this kind of a display. The problem I have is getting it to interface with FlightGear to have FlightGear automatically display, and that's a technical problem I'm working with now. And since I can't fly the aircraft because we just can't fund it, do the flight test program, software development is cheap. So have a good night. This will probably be a long video. Sorry about the length. Have fun.